Do you want to eat in a way that feels good, that supports your health, but not have it become obsessive or to feel diety? If you're looking for food freedom, but also want to care about your health and learn how to implement nutrition information in a non-diet way, then this video is for you. I'm going to go over what something called gentle nutrition is and how it is different from dieting and how you can effortlessly implement nutrition information while also enjoying the donut whenever the heck you want without feeling guilty or going overboard. I'm going to be giving a ton of information in this video, but I'm going to go into way more detail on a live 1-hour masterclass next week. So if you're watching this live and you're like, yep, Colleen is preaching what I'm needing, then be sure to head to the link in the description to save your seat before that masterclass fills. It is going to be epic, you guys. I geek out about this stuff because it's transformed my own personal life and how I eat and implement nutrition information, but it's also proved to do the exact same for the thousands that I've taught this exact method to. I'm spilling all of it on the masterclass, so be sure to sign up. At the end of this video, I'm also going to be addressing the #1 hot topic, weight. So be sure to stick around to the end to see that. I know you have questions. So firstly, what is gentle nutrition? Gentle nutrition is a term used in the intuitive eating and food freedom world. It's actually the 10th, the last principle of intuitive eating. And essentially, it's about making food choices that are both satisfying to our cravings and our taste buds, while also ones that honor our health. In other words, I always say it's about honoring both your physical and your mental health. I am really not a fan of the term moderation or the 80-20 rule because I think when we strive for moderation or quote unquote balance, we wind up turning that into a food rule, which really backfires on us, and we feel guilty when we do implement the 20% portion that consists of cake and cookies and pizza. But what really gentle nutrition is, it's just that, balance. Except when you implement it in this specific way that I'm gonna teach you, it's effortless. And you don't have to strive for that 80-20 balance. It just kind of happens. Sounds pretty great, right? It is. And I teach this every single day to my clients inside of the society, and today I'm spilling the tea to you. Now, I'm a big visual kind of gal, so let's make this a visual lesson. Okay, class? Let's think back to grade school and those things called Venn diagrams. You know, the two overlapping circles. Well, one is your internal wisdom and your cravings, your desires, your body's cues. And the other side is nutrition and health knowledge. The stuff that's in your brain, right? That knowledge, it's housed up there. Gentle nutrition is the overlap of those two circles. And those two circles, they can ebb and flow, okay? Maybe at one point in your life, you're kind of in survival mode. Maybe work is crazy, or you're a new parent, let's say, and you just need to feed yourself. You don't have time for the time-consuming task of massaging kale salads and green goddess dressing. In that case, your external health knowledge, it might not take up as much of that middle area. Other times in your life, maybe you've just gotten a medical diagnosis, or you're really prioritizing feeding your body in a way that allows it to feel its best, or maybe you have an allergy or an intolerance. In those cases, your nutrition knowledge might overlap a little bit more. These circles are not stagnant, not only in times of our lives, but in our day-to-day decisions. Maybe, let's say for breakfast, I'm like, heck yes, a nutrient-packed bowl of oatmeal is fabulous. It will give me energy for hours. And then later in the day, I'm craving a cookie. And that craving, that internal wisdom, is the more dominating circle. Because like a caramel rice cake is not gonna cut it. I like to say that the kind of guiding principle to when you're thinking about implementing gentle nutrition is do it when it wouldn't take away from your satisfaction or your enjoyment. So let's go back to that example. If we were to have a rice cake versus a cookie to reduce, say, sugar or caloric intake, but I know the rice cake's not gonna cut it because it's not a cookie and I really want the cookie, then I wouldn't necessarily necessarily implement Gen2 nutrition there because it would take away from that enjoyment and satisfaction. But maybe there's an instance where I'm just looking for something light and just a touch of sweetness in there. And maybe let's say I do like rice cakes. That doesn't mean you can't enjoy one, but it's important not to avoid your cravings and just say, oh, I'm implementing Gen2 nutrition. Don't turn it into a food rule. That's when it really feels restrictive and diety and we're filled with that guilt and that shame. So here are some other examples of Gen2 nutrition to kind of allow you to wrap your head around. So maybe grabbing whole wheat versus white bread for a little nutrient boost, little fiber. Your body will love it and it'll help keep you full and satisfied longer. Maybe making a batch of protein muffins to have on hand for easy grab and go snack. Our muscles love protein and it helps us to stay full longer. Now I have some recipes for protein muffins, also protein donuts. I'll link to them in the description. They're amazing. You might pack veggies and hummus for an afternoon snack versus having the candy bar every day when you notice a repeating afternoon slump set in after that candy bar. Maybe you add a variety of fruits and veggies into your morning smoothie to get your dose of vitamins and minerals that your body will love and can be protective for your health and protect against different disease states. Maybe you give your body some protein after a workout, like snacking on Greek yogurt, because you know that the protein will help your muscles to recover nice and strong. You could add some structure to your eating pattern to prevent yourself from going too long without eating and getting too hungry, which typically leads us to eating past fullness. For instance, you could pack snacks, make time to have filling meals, etc. Maybe when you are preparing a meal, you think about adding all 3 macronutrients, carbs, protein, and fat, because you know that they're all important for our bodies to function properly and to help you feel full and satisfied, i.e. not in the pantry 5 minutes after dinner looking for some cookies to hit the spot. You know what I'm talking about, because you tried to skip the carbs altogether and you only had cauliflower rice. Not cutting it. Or maybe you use some chickpea or lentil-based pasta for an added protein and fiber punch to your meal. You could keep a water bottle with you so that you stay hydrated because you know that dehydration can not feel super great, impact your hunger cues as well as your digestion. And maybe you play around with your portion sizes, having more or less food overall or different types of foods. Maybe you do this if you're not feeling that great after a meal. Either maybe you're too full or you're still hungry. Or maybe you try picking a food or beverage that's lower in added sugar or has fewer ingredients, whatever, if both of them satisfy you just the same. Now, those are some examples, and you might be thinking, ugh, but my cravings would always win. I'd beg to differ. You see, with Gen2 nutrition, that external knowledge circle, it doesn't go away. So yes, I honor my cookie craving, but I still think, how would I feel if I ate cookies all the time? Did you catch that word feel? That is key in implementing Gen2 nutrition and in what makes it different from dieting. I'm not gonna tell you what to eat or what not to eat. You honestly could eat whatever. You could eat cookies all day long. But the question is, do you want to? Would that feel good? This process of feeling the difference is something that I'm gonna teach you inside of the Gen2 Nutrition Masterclass that I'm teaching next week. It's so important. So if you're watching this live, then be sure to save your space before it fills up. Again, that link is in the description. When you can learn to tie in nutrition information to how it makes your body feel, that is when it becomes effortless and you become actually motivated to implement it. Note that word learn, okay? Because it does take time to learn how to do this. It's not just a switch that you can turn on, but you can learn. No one is too far gone from listening to their body and learning how to feel the difference with Gen2 nutrition. You can do it, okay? So here's an example. Again, I could eat donuts every single day as a non-diet dietitian. Absolutely. Do I want to? No. That wouldn't feel good. Do I enjoy a donut when I want without an ounce of guilt, stress, or anxiety? Heck yes. That's what it's all about. If you're thinking, yeah, but I can't do that. Again, I teach women how to do this every single day. And they also used to think that they couldn't do it either until they did, and you can too. I mentioned that gentle nutrition is the last principle of intuitive eating, and that's very intentional. Most of the time when you are working to improve your relationship with food, to become an intuitive eater, nutrition must be placed kind of on the back burner. Now, the reason for this is due to the very important step of needing to make peace with food and letting go of diet culture messages and influences. That must really happen before focusing on nutrition. Now, if you skip this step, it's kind of like building a house on a swamp. You don't have a solid foundation in having a healthy relationship with food, and you're really likely to turn gentle nutrition into another diet and not true intuitive eating. Now, this can prevent you from removing the good and bad labels from food and truly neutralizing them, which is key. This is what I teach here on my channel, as well as step-by-step in the Society Intuitive Eating membership community, that making peace with food, okay? So if you need more clarity on this topic, you can also watch some of the full days of eating that I have here on my channel, where I really walk you through the why behind my food choices. Those are super helpful and you guys love them. Now, I asked you guys what questions you had about gentle nutrition on Instagram, so let's take a second to answer some of those. The first question is, how do I distinguish gentle nutrition from a food rule? Fabulous question. If it is gentle nutrition, you shouldn't feel guilt, stress, or anxiety if you pick the other option. So for example, if your gentle nutrition choice is to pick wheat bread over white bread because of the extra fiber and whole grains, but you'd feel like so guilty eating white bread, that's a food rule, and I'd recommend breaking that food rule, making peace with white bread, and neutralizing that food by, well, eating it. If it's more of, that's a bummer, white will do for now, but it won't be as nutrient dense or filling to my body, then fabulous. That signals a food preference. Another question that you guys had was asking for tips to prevent it from quickly morphing back into the diet mentality. And I hear you. And if you just follow what someone says with nutrition information, it will turn back into a diet. And this is why I teach a feelings-based approach to help you get internally motivated to implement it. Again, I'm going over this exact thing in that masterclass, so be sure to sign up. It is free. I don't know if I've mentioned that. Now, one of the common fears that you guys have with gentle nutrition is worries of weight gain. And with gentle nutrition, you are actually able to work towards finding your set point weight, which is something I talk a lot about on this channel. And that is essentially the weight that your body wants to be at, where it functions optimally. Just like our shoe size is different for so many of us, so is our weight. Now, I'm a size 8 in shoes. I'm never gonna be a size 6. Just like we all have different shoe sizes, we all have different body weights that our bodies want to be. So just like with intuitive eating overall, weight gain, loss, or maintenance could happen depending on where your body is at now, if it's above, at, or below your set point weight. There is no calculator that we can use to plug in and find what our set point weight is. There's no chart that can tell us. Your body tells us. Your set point weight, it's where you're honoring your hunger and fullness cues comfortably. It is where you are implementing gentle nutrition knowledge for the most part. It's not all or nothing. And enjoying cravings guilt-free when you have them, and doing so in a way that allows your body to still feel good. A lot of people also reach a point with intuitive eating where they've gotten rid of their food rules, they're eating all the things, yeah, but they're not feeling so good. Can you relate to that? I definitely could. And that is where much of the time the gentle nutrition piece is missing. So if you think that is you, then again, I want you to go down right now, pause this video, sign up for that masterclass next week, because it is going to be exactly what you need. And get excited because it's gonna be a party. I love gentle nutrition. It is my jam. I geek out about it, and I cannot wait to spill all of the tea to you. I swear we're going to light up the place because so many light bulbs are gonna be going off, except it's virtual, but you get the idea. So I hope this video was helpful in giving you a little more insight into what gentle nutrition is and how it can finally complete your intuitive eating journey. Be sure to leave a comment if you enjoyed this video and let me know in the comments if you've signed up for that masterclass so I can keep an eye out for you and say hello. I will be back as always next week with another video, and it's gonna be a grocery finds video. It's gonna be so much fun. I'm taking you into the grocery store with me and we'll be pointing out Jen's nutrition ideas, busting diet culture, myths with bogus marketing, and also seeing what fun new foods are there that week. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not so you don't miss out. I'll see you guys next week on the masterclass and also here on Thursday with another video. See you later.